Welcome to Building What Lasts, a podcast dedicated to conversations on design, development, and decisions that create long term value. Here we take a deep dive into the minds of leaders, creators, and visionaries who are shaping tomorrow's spaces and experiences. So while we at Ekatva Group might be the developers of the Olive, but today I'm going to be talking with Mr. Sanjay Puri as a customer to talk about his journey and the innovative project, the Olive in Thane. I can safely admit this has been one of the toughest meetings to be scheduled of all my career of selling offices to hundreds of professionals and industrialists. Sanjay, I would like you to give us some ideas, your thoughts on your idea about architecture, form and design, and what is your thought process while you design buildings and institutions and whatever amazing work you're doing.
It's a very, very complex thought process.
I'm sure.
But the thing is, the most important thing is that you have to keep it contextual. Contextual to the surroundings, to the climate, to the region, to the habits of the people who are going to use it.
Okay.
So there are a lot of factors that go into this, and if it is a developer project which is driven by a commercial need, then you also need to take cognizance of that aspect. So all of these factors, plus the laws that govern the buildings in that zone or in that location. So these are all multiple factors come together, and literally they are like these boxes that you put in front, and then you're looking at the site and you're assimilating from all of them simultaneously before you come up with the solution that you feel is correct.
Okay. So some places like Mumbai would be the toughest areas for you to design because of the 100 rules related to open space, related to architectural projections and limitations and do's and don'ts. And your canvas is wide open in smaller towns where some of your most interesting work is coming up.
So that's true. So Mumbai has two problems.
Yeah.
A, the number of laws are far more, which restrict you. B, the density given to the plots has become now very high. So, and then there is always some kind of height limitation. Or there is a height limitation and there is a open space that you have to leave, which creates this box within which you have to design.
Right.
And then the third thing is that Bombay has got a very high cost per square foot. So if you want to create some little additional recreation space, larger balcony, people start thinking that no, it's so expensive. Should I actually leave the space as open space or not?
Right.
So that is another restriction. So yes, all of these restrictions are there, but at the same time, restrictions don't really necessarily restrict you to create good design. There is always a solution yet.
Sanjay, in a world balancing form and function, how do you personally define architectural success?
So it's about the exact correct marriage of the form and the function, which happens simultaneously. A lot of people keep asking this question, and there are famous sayings also.
Okay.
Form follows function. Then there is the reverse way of does function follow form?
Nice.
Which is the case that some people follow, but none of them are correct.
Okay.
Because both of them are simultaneous processes. If you are not thinking of the form while you're solving the function, it is not possible that you're going to suddenly give some other form to that function that you have solved separately. So it's all together in synergy at all times.
So are you always asking questions to your clients, or this is your creative mind which will decide a form first or function first or combination or this, that? How do you decide?
You understand what the client wants.
Okay.
And then you look at where this building is going to be done.
Right.
Based on those factors, the climate factors, then you decide that this would be the correct or a good way to do this project.
Sanjay, now I want to talk about the Olive, which is one of the marquee projects which you are doing in Thane. I think you're coming to Thane after a long time. After I think couple of decades, you are doing a first project here,
Yes.
or maybe the first. Is it the first one?
This is the first after 2 decades.
After 2 decades, okay. After you became the Sanjay Puri. So what were your thoughts when you saw the brief for Olive? What exactly came into your mind, like building which is going to have such a high density, so much of FSI, and we want to do something little cutting edge and something which will break the clutter as well as stand out and your philosophy about sustainability, about green spaces, about open spaces. How did you marry all of this in one small 1 acre plot?
Yes, complex set of requirements and set of rules and open spaces, and yes, like you said, high density. But what a site! It's very rare that you get a site with 3 sides roads and one entire face looking at the mountains so close.
Right.
So that was the beauty of Olive, and that's what gave that first thing that let's not make an office building which is something that's like just one block and then wrap it around in curtain wall glass, which almost 95% of the buildings that we see around, whether it's in Chennai or Delhi or Bombay or Bangalore or somewhere else, all the same. Curtain wall glass buildings are not suited for tropical climates
Right.
at all because they act as heat traps. The air conditioning cost goes up,
Right.
and because there is full glass floor to ceiling height, if you are facing the east or the west or the south, at some point of the day you will have so much sunlight that you will need to block that sunlight.
Right.
So in spite of having full glass, you are going to block that sunlight and then you are going to put artificial lighting on. So not only have you increased the air conditioning cost, but you have also increased the electrical load.
Right.
But if you do a building that is suited for the tropical climate, which means you use glass, but you use glass in a way that it is protected,
Right.
it is shielded,
Right.
and that is what is important. So what we've done in Olive is all the windows are shielded, and then because there are these amazing hills to look at, every office on that corner gets a balcony space that you can step out into and look at that. And then those balconies are also not like a typical building where you have balcony, balcony, balcony over balcony. These balconies move in the corner, so they literally fragment that corner so that every floor has an individual identity, and at the same time the building also looks very graphic and interesting, moving in this manner.
Right. So why do you think like most of the commercial buildings, as you correctly said, in Chennai or in all the Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, why would most of the architects or developers be doing this glass walls and glass curtains and unitized and all that fancy names? Why do you think is everyone talking about or doing that kind of buildings?
See, glass buildings were first made in Europe, in the US, in colder climates. They used glass so that you get more sunlight in, because there the sunlight is not harsh
Right.
and it's winter most of the year.
Right.
So they actually want that, but it's not the solution for a tropical climate building.
Right.
When you're building in the tropics, you need to take cognizance of that climate. We have temperatures rising to 40 degrees.
Right.
I mean, how can you make a curtain wall building? No matter what you do, how efficient the glass is, you double insulate the glass, but still there is so much heat that you're trapping inside.
We have also been one of the reasons or whatever culprits of doing these glass buildings, because a lot of times it's just about the visibility. People think that okay, this glass facade building is when you go in, when it's not made up, it looks little open and all of that. But yeah, this is the science behind it, the environmental impact these glass buildings have. I don't think too many people are giving it too much of thought, unfortunately. Yes.
Yeah, we have to have glass because of course we want to look out, and of course we want natural light, and we want the view. The thing is only to use glass in a protected way, that's all. For the tropical climate, you just need to protect that glass and not leave it end-to-end glass with no protection at all.
Right.
That's the mistake people make.
Sanjay, I also wanted to ask you about what special amenities and features you think you were briefed about or came to your mind while designing the Olive, and what is special about the Olive in terms of amenities and other things which you would have designed?
So there are so many, when we thought about it, and that discussion happened that, okay, you buy an office, but what do you need? Now these offices are not very large because we made flexible offices. There are some small offices also, there are larger offices also. So let's say the person in a small office wants to have a conference. He cannot dedicate 1/4 of his office to making a conference theater of 12 people.
Right.
Because how many times is he going to use that?
Right.
So there is a conference room made for the entire office building.
Okay.
So any resident can call down, book that conference room, and then use that. So that conference is not taking up space in his own office, which means he has a lot more usable space in his office. So conference rooms of different kinds are being created as an added amenity.
Right.
And that is one of the most important things. And these will be completely fitted with the latest AV systems and all of that. Then you've got all the recreational activities, which is a gym, there is a cafeteria, there is a walking track, there are elevated gardens every 6 floors, so there are large gardens in the entire building. So if you want to go to a garden quickly, you can actually take 2 flights down and go to the garden. You don't have to take an elevator and go all the way down to the building.
Right.
And then on the rooftop, 27th floor, we have this amazing director's lounge from where you can sit and see all the mountains in the surroundings.
Okay.
It's going to be a fabulous building.
Wow. At what height do you think that director's garden would be?
That's on the 27th floor at 130 meters height.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. Nice. And so, how much difference do these amenities make in a commercial space? Because we always heard that people are coming to work, and why would someone use a gym, or what are the global trends when it comes to amenities in commercial buildings?
It's all the more important to have amenities in a commercial building, because what happens is we spend actually most of our waking hours in the office.
True.
At home, you are sleeping. Yes, you spend 2/3 of your life at home, 1/3 in the office. But out of that 2/3 at home, you are sleeping 80% of the time.
Okay.
So it's just that morning and the evening that you are in office, but the rest, I mean, at home.
At home.
But the rest of the day you are in office. So an office space has to be much, much better than what, people can't look at offices as just some floor slab, and that's it. Office building done. You have to take care. Natural light has to penetrate all the way through. And you have to have good cafeterias, good lounge spaces, good gymnasiums, so that, when you are rushed for time, maybe you just take a break in the middle of the day, 20 minutes, go to the gym and come back. I mean, all the facilities are there. You can change, you can shower, you can do all of that. So why not?
Interesting. So why a lot of times when we talk about commercial buildings, people always thought that commercial buildings have to be where people just come to work, and always, because the Indian mindset also that we would like people, I mean, we always time people and how much time they are taking a break for and all of that. So this amenity thing, I think, will be a good breakout zones for people who want to just, people go down during the lunch break or their cigarette break and all, and they can just spend some time just walking around, and they don't have to go outside the building and just work out.
Yeah,
for
but today all offices are actually about creating flexible spaces and social spaces.
Right.
So today, let's say, I got fed up of working in an AC office and the weather is decent.
Right.
I can go out to one of the gardens,
Right.
work there for 20 minutes
Right.
on my laptop and come back.
Right.
I get that break. So mental being is really, really important. And if you have a good sense mentally, your work output can increase by 30 to 40%. So if you create a good environment to work in, which is what Olive is all about, the productivity of the person working in Olive will be 40% more.
Interesting. Can you just name, when it comes to, see, now you have been a kind of a pioneer when it comes to experimenting with forms and structure in Indian architecture, and you're very active on social media, and that's where we get to know about your future projects and all. Any architects worldwide who inspire you, who you always look up to their work? And we look up, I mean, here we come across a lot of architects and they are always looking up to your work. Any inspiration for you that these are the guys who are who have done or are doing some of the work which inspires you?
So there are so many. I won't say any one architect's all work, okay? But then there are specific buildings by some of these architects which are insane and actually inspired me a lot. There is a theater done in Dresden in Germany by Coop Himmelblau.
Okay.
When I entered that building, it took me a while to understand how it was designed because it is so abstract in nature.
Right.
And I thought to myself, like, wow, somebody has actually gone way beyond in abstracting spaces. Then you look at this Chheda center by Zaha Hadid
Right.
in Azerbaijan. What a building! I mean, it's taken fluidity to another level altogether. Then you look at Franco Gehry, Bilbao Museum. So there are these particular projects of these architects that are truly, truly inspiring, and you have to experience them to understand like what difference it makes to you. It really makes a difference.
Coming to these interesting forms by all these wonderful architects, how much do you think are Indian executors, like say the craftsmanship and the contractors, lagging behind in terms of technology or finesse to do such experimentative work, like say a Zaha Hadid with all the curves and the span and the limitation which Indian laws, I don't know when it comes to structure or design of RCC and all those things have? What you think, are we still lagging behind, and what needs to be done?
I think only in terms of structure there is a little bit of lagging behind because we're not thinking in steel. Like literally every structural consultant in India is still only thinking RCC. Steel offers you a lot more possibilities and it is also a lot more sustainable than using RCC. But then at the same time, steel is more costly. So there is this whole trade-off. So yes, we, in terms of craftsmanship and technology, is almost there.
Okay.
Okay, today it's almost there. There are lots of tools to be able to create something. The only thing is, it also makes the project a lot more costly, and that is something that doesn't work in India yet.
Oh, okay.
So until those processes become a little more economical, it will not be so easily accepted in India.
Okay.
It will be accepted only in certain few marquee projects done by people who really want to, take architecture to another level and have the vision to allow the architect that they chose to carry that vision through. That's what's important.
Interesting. You think the conception which most of the people usually have, that good design always comes at a price. In terms of interior design, maybe it is true, maybe it is not. I am not an expert in that. But when it comes to good architecture, what is your take on this? Is it necessary to say that a good building costs more than
No, a good building does not cost more. It just needs a little more thought and understanding. It does not necessarily cost more.
Sanjay, so when I saw the design of Olive, I could see that looks like a very complex design and it must be a contractor's nightmare kind of thing. How did you convince the contractor into executing this zigzag, this kind of a building, and did you have a tough time convincing him?
Yes, it is always a tough time convincing a contractor to do anything that is non-conventional. See, all contractors love doing nice, clean, repetitive work.
Right.
You make a centering once, you repeat, you repeat, you repeat until the floor is over. And here, every floor actually has a difference.
Right.
So every floor, the plan is slightly different because of the balcony shape or because of the way the windows are, they're done in this graphic composition, so no two floors have the same identical windows. So even the window keeps changing. Because the window changes, the protection of the window changes. So the contractor's effort goes up. The material cost is not more, it's the same material.
Okay.
But the effort goes up. But then that effort is what is creating a building that is going to be unique.
Interesting. And every good thing comes at a price. So if not necessarily in terms of money, but in terms of time and effort. So maybe Olive is one such building which will come at that little extra effort which the contractor or executors or whoever will have to put in. So Sanjay, just one question. So say Thane, now this is an upcoming area, Wagle Estate, where the Olive is based. There are a lot of standard, good, clean, whatever glass facade buildings are coming up. So to create a very different kind of a language, a different kind of a story, different kind of a structure, what kind of people you think will appreciate this? What kind of people will move in? What would their thought be? Why should they or why would they move in this kind of building?
Multiple aspects. So I'll tell you one very simple thing. A glass facade building has almost no openable windows.
Right.
After 5-6 panels, they have one panel which opens like 6 inches like this. 6 inches.
Okay.
Let's say the weather is great. There are days in the monsoon when the weather is great in Bombay. There are few days in November, December where the weather is great. And if I have an office which is looking at the hills and I want to open my window, I can't open it. I can't open it more than 6 inches.
Right.
So here in Olive, every window is openable. You can open as many windows as you want, keep them shut if you want. You have the flexibility of choice. So you can do what you want to do. We have not put you in a glass box and said, hey, now you are shut inside this, you can't open anything.
Right.
This is it. So Olive is going to be a living, breathing environment, not just an office building. It is a lifestyle statement. When people come to Olive, once they have worked here, they will not want to work in any other office building. It's literally going to be like that.
So Sanjay, you have come to Thane after 2 decades and Olive is your first project after a couple of decades here. So how have you seen from 20 years back to now? How do you think has the city changed and how big a scope you think for commercial development in Thane city according to you?
What a transformation. I mean, Thane has become like it was all here, 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 and now it's all here, 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 like this, all across. I'm surprised to see the number of towers that are going on, and all around Olive, that entire area, so many commercial buildings coming up, and all of them are almost sold.
Right.
It's fabulous. So that means it's going to be the next commercial hub, next large commercial hub of Bombay.
So in fact, we were also talking about how Thane has become one of those right combination where there is a lot of residential development happening,
Yes.
and a lot of commercial has got a push because of that, because people are wanting not to travel so much for working, and how Wagle Estate or Thane city has commercial development has grown because of that. And we also have the Yeur hills next to us, which are the kind of the lungs of Thane city, which is kind of making this city much more livable and good place to stay.
There's a lot of scope for it to become. And like you said, residential, commercial all together, 10 minutes from home to office. It's fab.
It's a dream come true in a city like Bombay to have your office
Absolutely.
like 10 minutes from your...
Yeah, because literally, even if you look at the whole of Mumbai, there's nothing that is residential, commercial mixed. Where is the area? If you look at Nariman Point, it's only commercial. Then beyond that, there is Cuthbert, which is 90% residential. You go, then there's an entire belt of residential. Then you come to BKC, which is again commercial.
Right.
After that, again, it's all residential on the western side. And on the highway side, then there is dotted commercial everywhere until you get to Andheri, which is again fully commercial. So it's all in pockets. Whereas here, you're seeing residential and commercial like literally very close to each other.
Yeah, so no central business district along with so much of residential development around, which makes it more interesting.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, Sanjay, thank you for your time. That was a great discussion on the Olive and your thoughts on architecture and everything. We hope to see you much quicker next time than how much time we took to catch hold of you this time around. Thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you.